Cheers, YouTube. Man, that's a good beer. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I know it's been like 2 months since I posted my last video. I've been a little bit busy, haven't had much time to get out here and do anything for you, but today, I'm going to throw something together for you. Today, we'll be talking about diffusing LED lights. Now, what am I talking about diffusing LED lights? Well, I'm sure you've been at a convention, you've seen somebody walking around with a big costume or just even a regular sized costume, and it's got LED lights all over it, maybe some LEDs in the eyeballs, something like that. But when they move in certain directions or whatever your aspect is towards them, you'll be blinded by the lights. Or sometimes it has like an aura effect around the light. It throws off pictures, and if you're sitting there looking at it, hey, give me some sunglasses because you're blinding me. I've done it myself. It's pretty easy to fix. It's just a matter of kind of messing around with a couple different things and seeing what works for you, what doesn't work for you. So that's kind of what I'm going to be going over today. So when you got your LEDs, it's this really direct kind of focused beam. And you can see how it kind of throws off the camera a little bit. You know, it's just not pleasant to look at. So what I'm trying to look for here is my son's Mini Optimus Prime blaster. You can see it doesn't have that effect. It's a little bit more clean. Hold these two together. See that one? It's the exact same lights. One is just diffused and one is not. So instead of having a direct focus beam, it's dispersed. It's pretty easy to do, and I'm going to go over a couple different ways that I do it. There's a lot of videos out there on YouTube on how to diffuse lights, and really it's just all a matter of what you're looking to do. A couple things you're going to need. I like to use a Scotch-Brite pad. You're going to need a piece of sandpaper. This is really fine grit. This is 320 grit right here, so it's really fine. I got these little plastic test tubes. I got these off of Amazon. I think it came in like a pack of 20. If I was good using YouTube and technology, I would probably tell you somewhere down there in the comments or in that area a link to these. Unfortunately, I'm not really good. I'm still learning. So once I'm a little more tech savvy, I'll figure that stuff out. But in the meantime, if you want to know any information on these or you want links, just send me a message and I'll take care of that. Okay, well, that just leaves one more thing, and that's talking about the beer. So today's beer is, this is from Toppling Goliath. This is Pseudo Soup. It's a really, really good hazy IPA. This is a local Iowa beer from Decorah, Iowa. If you're in the area, you won't be disappointed with this beer. It's amazing, and look at that artwork on that can. That's pretty cool. Okay, that pretty much covers everything. A couple of materials I'm going to be using to actually diffuse my lighting with. This little plastic almond milk container. I cut a little section out of it like that. That works pretty good for diffusing lights. Just a piece of plexiglass. I'm going to show you how to use that to diffuse your lights. And then we got my little test tube. And then if things are really failing you, just a piece of paper. There's a lot of materials out there that you can use to diffuse lights. Plastics and all kinds of other stuff. So just look around and see what you got. But anyways, let's bring it in for a closer look so I can show you a couple of these things that I do. Well, all right, here we are. Let's just go ahead and we'll start off with the easiest one. This is that almond milk container. This is just a standard whatever type of plastic that's made out of, but this is really good for diffusing your LEDs. So you can go ahead and just cut that to whatever shape you want. It's really moldable. So if you want to like have a specific shape with this, just heat it up with a heat gun, and you can form it into whatever you want it to be formed. But you would just take this thing and basically just use it to block that light, just diffuse that a little bit. And you can see the closer I have that or further away, it's going to change the way that looks. So that's really important when you're setting these lights up inside. If you have it really close to it, you're going to still see that light pretty easily. But if you just move it back, give it a little bit of distance, you can see how it disperses that light a little bit better. Let's move on to the second one here. Now this is just a piece of plexiglass. It's just a standard 1/8 inch thick plexiglass, nothing special about it. But what I'm going to do with this is you can do it one of two ways. You can either use a Scotch-Brite pad like this. I prefer the sandpaper. I think it works a little bit better. But, so all you're going to do is you would just attach this to your piece after you do this. And let's just do it. You just go in circles here. Just scuff that up. You see how it's going from a clear to an opaque now? That's exactly what you want right there. And you want to use the finer sandpaper because you won't see those scratches as much on the other side. Now this is the exact same technique that I used on my son's Optimus Prime blaster. Really happy with the results on that. Okay, so you see you got this fine dust on there. Let's just wipe that off. Okay, now the side that you sanded on will be on the inside. So you want this smooth side. So you still get a real nice glossy finish on that, but it's opaque. So you can't see through it anymore now. So you would just take your LEDs in and put it behind there as well. And again, your distance will make all the difference on that. But you can also take another type of material, whatever that may be, and put it behind there as well and diffuse it even more, as you can see. Obviously, you're not going to just do this with paper towels, but just kind of giving you an idea, using different materials together will give you different looks. But this one works really well, and as you can see on here, that's what I used on that. So it works pretty well. Now this next one, I did this for Ironhide for his eyeballs. Worked really awesome. Basically, I just took this test tube here and just cut the end off. So then I was left with just this. Now this almost kind of looks like an eyeball right now. But as far as diffusing the light, we're not quite there yet. So I'm going to take my Scotch-Brite pad here. Just fold it up a little bit. It's a little bit of a stiff Scotch-Brite pad, so it's not the greatest, but I'm just going to twist it. Just kind of sanding the inside a little bit. All right, that thing's not working. Let's switch it up to the sandpaper here. It's a little bit easier if I could get it in there. There we go. I just run that thing around, get it sanded up. If you got a like a wire wheel attachment for a Dremel, you could probably use that as well. Well, just twist it, and it's getting the same type of effect that the plexiglass had. And then you could just put your light in behind it. Perfect. See that? See how it's not a straight beam anymore? See, there's that OR effect I'm talking about. That's what we're trying to avoid. With it diffused, it's gone. Just like that. It looks good from all angles. Nice, evenly distributed light. And then you can actually, you could draw on the outside of this thing too with some paint or something like that and make it look like you got like an iris on there, which is what I did for Ironhide. It looked really awesome, turned out great. Well, that pretty much covers the couple things I wanted to talk about here. Yeah, that's about it. Well, that pretty much wraps up today's video. Hopefully these techniques help you guys out and you can apply these things in your own projects and maybe make it look a little bit better, or maybe you just stop blinding yourself or stop blinding other people's. I've done it myself, so I'm glad to be able to pass these things on to you and help you out with your own projects. The nice thing about cosplay is you can experiment and try different things, different types of materials. It's whatever you want to do, whatever's going to work for your own project. And don't ever let anybody tell you that you're doing it wrong. These are yours, and they're only yours, and anybody else that tells you you're doing it wrong is just a hater, and haters going to hate. It's plain and simple. So just do what you want, do what feels right and what looks good to you. But that's all I got for you guys. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. You can always follow me on Instagram, see my current projects. You can also check me out on Facebook at BMB Cosplay. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those in the comments section. And until next time, cheers.